is a great place to do business. But if you're not trying to sell your product internationally, you could be missing out on big opportunities.
The reality is, a lot of Canadian companies are not exporting. This means they're not reaching their full potential.
The government will have us believe that we're a trading nation, but the reality is, if you take away petroleum exports and cars manufactured in Canada because it's a cheaper place to manufacture, you'll find that we've got a wildly negative trade balance. So Canadians really do need to adopt more of an export culture and look at the world as a global market. The world market is 40 times larger than the Canadian domestic market. So we need to look beyond the US market. Now that the US dollar has devalued so much, it's not as attractive as it used to be. So it's important for us to be looking at other markets that are further away and appear more difficult to penetrate. But the reality is, it isn't that hard, and in fact, it's really exciting and good for companies to be looking at markets beyond the US.
If competition makes for better business, then competing on the world stage will bring out the best in your company. Exporting is about more than just increasing sales.
Companies that export are just tougher competitors. If you have to go and slug it out in the international market, you find ways of competing, you find out what your competition's doing, and even if you discover that that market out there isn't for you, the things you will learn as you are approaching that market and looking at it as a potential market for you, you will learn and bring them home, and it'll make you a tougher competitor in your domestic market. On top of that, there's the obvious reasons. If you export your products, you increase your production, so your unit costs of production decrease. You increase your sales, so your sales and profitability goes up.
If I have a startup company and exporting around the world is one of my goals, when should I start the process?
There is a point that's too early. I've met inventors who've invented products and say, I want to start selling this into the international markets immediately. And I applaud their enthusiasm, but the first step in export marketing is to develop your domestic market first. That's where you can make your mistakes and check out your market early in the stage at lower cost. But once you have established a domestic market, it's important to get out there and then looking at international markets. Again, 40 times more people out there to sell to.
Not only is exporting good for a company, but the economy of our country. That's why there are plenty of resources available through all levels of government.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of excellent help available from the government, both at the federal level, which has trade posts, about 130 trade posts around the world that you can communicate directly with, and they will help you by giving you market information, ideas about who your competitors might be, possibilities for business partners over there. Even at the local and provincial level, there is also excellent help available from there. I know the Ontario government has area managers that specialize in different parts of the world, and local governments have export advisors who are experienced people that can come and help you.
Dave Archer has been in export development for over 15 years. He now offers courses in getting your business ready for export markets. He explains the 4 stages every company should take before entering into foreign markets.
The first step is to look first at your own company and establish and make sure that you have both the resources and the commitment to be successful exporting. The next step is to identify international markets that may be suitable for you. So you use your own common sense. Well, I'm in construction products. Maybe we should be looking at the southern hemisphere when we're slow up here in the northern hemisphere. Then you research the market, find out if in fact that market could be available, look at the competition, all that. If all of that looks good, then you go through the second checkpoint. The third phase, and that leads through to your third checkpoint, is you actually begin to approach that market. You develop materials that you can send over. You make phone calls, you send emails, and you see if you can attract attention of potential distributors or customers in that market. If you're getting positive feedback, then you go through checkpoint 3. Then it's time to go and visit the market. When you go to visit a market, you see all your competition on display, you meet people and decide if you want to do business with them. They may tell you that they have a certain type of operation, but when you visit them, you confirm if that's true. And at the end of that trip, then you will have a really good idea of A, should you be in that market, and B, what you will need to do to compete successfully in that market. And from there on, you can go forward.